guys, Scott from Horse Racing Daily, and today's video is going to be on the Schuylerville Stakes tomorrow for opening day at Saratoga. And it's an interesting field of 2-year-old female horses, and this race is kind of special to me. Because when I first got into horse racing, this was the first race that I actually won some big money on. So for me, this race kind of holds a special spot in my heart, and I always play the race every year, no matter what since then. So I'll be playing it tomorrow, and we'll get into it. I think there's three horses that kind of stand out a little bit over the rest of the field, and I think the one is Just Cindy. Picks up by Rad Ortiz, trained by Eddie Kenneally, and it's also out of Justify. And Justify won the Triple Crown a few years ago, so yeah, it's very intriguing as one of the top horses. And the other one is Me and My Shadow by Mark Casse, and it picks up Tyler Gaffley on it. And this horse actually came from Woodbine, as you can see right here. And it picked up a very good speed figure of 94. And I think Gaffleon has kind of worked his way as a go-to rider for Mark Casse. And a few years ago, a horse named Dreamin' Is came over and won the race out of Woodbine. And that's the only horse I've seen since then that's came from Woodbine. I went all the way back to 2016. So this will be the second horse, but it's very intriguing. You might get a little bit better odds on this horse than, let's say, a Just Cindy, because just by having Justify as a sire, that's gonna automatically hurt the odds, and it don't help you got our Rad on it, who's gonna take the share money too. And the other horse I like is the 9 horse Summer Promise by D. Wayne Lucas. And if you follow him, D. Wayne Lucas doesn't always win first time out. He usually takes a race or two for his horses to get going. But this horse won, first time out. The horse didn't really break all that well, ran inside and then kind of finished up in, workmanlike fashion. I would say it's the most impressive effort in the world for a first time out horse by a trainer that doesn't always, win. It was a very good effort, and I could definitely see a forward move. But with Dwayne Lucas, he's a very tough trainer to kind of gauge sometimes. He'll have a horse that I feel should win the race, and then you bet it, and the horse doesn't win. But then whenever you're about ready to give up on the horse, this horse comes and seems to win the race. So he kind of be a very goofy trainer to times sometimes. So I don't feel confident enough to put all my money on there because I do think this horse is not 100% likely winner. But based on how he ran the first race and knowing Dwayne Lucas and what he does with his 2-year-olds, you certainly have to respect the horse. And I think those three is where you start at with the field. You got horses like Music Man Sandy by Rudy Rodriguez, who, I think they're going to be the lesser horses of the field. Vidaria came out of Parks by, Reed, has Rosario on it. I don't think you can, really. Parks horses don't usually come over and win this, so I'm going to play against the horse. And you got, a couple other Mark Casse horses, and Jonas Joplin, got third his first time out, and now he's getting bumped up. He does have a pretty good owner in Gary Barber, so you do got to keep that in mind. And also has Flavian Pratt. So it could be an interesting one, maybe put in your exotics to get some good odds. Hopefully they can run better because they are doing a short turnaround with this horse. So they must have liked what they see at least in the morning time. So you have to keep that in mind. And another interesting thing when I was kind of going back looking at the charts, I just like to see where horses win and where they come from. Just kind of get a gauge a kind of the pattern of how some of the trainers approach going into races. Try to look backwards, and horses every year always seem to win the Schuylerville coming over from other places, which that doesn't really help too much this year. It's a lot of horses are coming from other places, but this kind of says don't really go with the local horses. Like Sweet Loretta came from Monmouth, and then Dreamin' Is out of Woodbine. Uh, 2018, Catherine the Great came out of Gulfstream Park. Pletcher said not a Madeline again that year, who came out of Monmouth again. So maybe down the road, if you see Pletcher with, a horse in that race out of Monmouth, show us some respect. And you had Comical, who won for Doug O'Neill, came all the way from California. And, in 2020, you had Day Out of the Office, came from Gulfstream Park. And last year you had Pretty Birdie come from Churchill. So that just tells me you probably want to stay away from any, Belmont horses if you can when you're playing this race. Look for the local shipper coming in, or look for the shipper trying to come in and win the race. So keep that in mind handicapping the race. But yeah, that's my little bit of analysis with the race. When the race is over, I'll re-upload the race and we'll do a post race commentary on it. And we'll get into it as you'll see some of these horses again out of this race. Further on in the years, they'll probably move up to 7 furlongs, and maybe some even want to stretch out some of the route races. But it should be a very fun race for open day at Saratoga. And thanks